My folks thought it'd be hilarious to ditch me on a desolate dock in Maine, a twisted prank they cooked up over cheap beer. Let's see if he can claw his way back, they snickered, speeding off in their rusted pickup. I never returned. 16 years later, they tracked me down. 89 missed calls. That summer, I was 21, slinging burgers at my uncle's greasy diner for pennies, crashing in my parents' attic because college is for suckers, per my dad, Ray. Our family wasn't broke, but we weren't booking cruises either. My sister, Leela, was the golden child, always skating by on charm while I was the designated screw-up. When Ray announced a family trip to a cousin's engagement party in coastal Maine, I should have smelled the setup. 2 days into the drive, I was already regretting not faking the flu. Ray and Leela kept up their usual game, make Felix's life miserable. Mom, Clara, would murmur, "That's enough," but it was just noise. Ray wasn't your average jerk dad. He'd trash my sketchbooks if they cluttered his space, scream about dishes at midnight, call me useless since I was old enough to hear it. Leela? She played his echo, mocking me to stay on his good side. That morning, we pulled into a crumbling dockside lot, nothing but gulls, salt air, and a boarded-up bait shop. I'd been dozing in the truck's back seat, desperate for a bathroom break. I wore a faded Nirvana tee, ripped cargos, and sneakers held together by duct tape. My phone was dead, left in the truck to charge. I didn't grab my wallet. Why would I? We were nowhere. I took maybe 8 minutes in that grimy restroom. When I stepped out, blinking into the foggy Maine light, the lot was empty. Our gray pickup? Gone. At first, I figured it was a dumb joke. I circled the lot, checked the road, nothing. Betrayal from family cuts deeper than anything. I sat on a rotting bench, waiting. An hour passed, then two. A fisherman asked if I was okay. I mumbled about a ride coming. He shrugged and left. By hour 3, my stomach was ice. They weren't coming back. I could have borrowed a phone, called Ray, begged. Memories flooded in. Every time they'd laughed at my drawings, every cruel joke that left scars. I heard Leela's voice in my head. Betty's freaking out. Ray's, "Kids gotta learn sometime." Clara's half-hearted, "Don't be mean." I decided then I wouldn't chase them. I approached a trucker, asked to use his phone, and called a shelter in Portland, 50 miles away. I spun a story about a family emergency, and he gave me a lift. That first night in the shelter was brutal. No ID, no cash, just my clothes. A volunteer, Marla, let me use their ancient PC. I thought about tracking down the engagement party, but stopped. Why run after people who left me for laughs? I set up a new email, researched ID replacement, and found cash-paying jobs. 3 days later, I was scrubbing pots at a dive bar called Rusty Anchor. The owner, Vince, a grizzled guy with a scorpion tattoo, hired me on the spot after his cook bailed. "Don't steal, don't slack, start now," he growled. Rock bottom's funny. You've got nowhere to go but up. I worked nights, slept at the shelter, wore donated shirts. Marla helped me get a new ID. I bought a cheap burner phone with my first paycheck. A week after they ditched me, Clara called, voice shaky. "Felix, where are you? It was just a prank." Ray in the background, "Tell him to stop whining." Leela laughing, "He's probably lost it." They'd waited 15 minutes down the road, came back and I was gone. I listened to their fake panic, then said, "You wanted to see me survive? Watch this." I hung up, blocked their numbers, got a new SIM the next day. 23 missed calls before I switched. A month later, I had a room above a fish market. Stank of cod, but it was mine. I moved up to barback at Rusty Anchor, and Vince taught me to mix drinks without spilling. Freedom tasted better than anything. But some nights, scrolling X, seeing families who actually cared, the loneliness hit hard. I didn't reply to their emails. Clara's pleas, Ray's demands, Leela's taunts. I was done.
5 years later, I spotted Leela's face on X, tagged in a local paper. She'd crashed her car, high on something, no injuries but her. The article used her cheerleader photo, smirking, perfect, next to a haggard mugshot. Karma slow but thorough. By then, I built a life in Portland. My fishy room became a studio with a view of the bay. I'd gone from barback to bartender, then manager at Rusty Anchor. Vince treated me like a son, not a project. I bought a used laptop, started online classes, graphic design, something Ray called doodling for losers. I worked mornings, studied afternoons, slung drinks at night. Trust was hard. I kept people at arm's length. My only friends were Vince and a neighbor, TJ, who fixed bikes and shared awful homebrew. Then came Nora, a regular at the bar. Every Wednesday, she'd order a gin fizz and sketch on napkins. Art student, I learned. She'd zone out, pencil hovering, lost in thought. I'd time her, grinning when she'd snap back. One night she noticed my name tag, said it was too normal for me. We started joking. Me with fake names, her calling them out. Our first date wasn't planned. Her friends ditched, and I ended up at her table at a taco joint. A year later, we shared a loft. Meanwhile, I kept tabs on my family via fake ex accounts. Ray's diner was tanking, big chains moved in. Clara posted old family pics, captioned with guilt trips, never naming me. Leela job hopped. Her ex post saw new beginnings and excuses. 3 years in, Vince offered me a chance to manage a new Rusty Anchor location. I froze. Ray's voice in my head said I'd fail. But Nora, half asleep, said, "Don't be an idiot, Felix." TJ just laughed. "You're already running the place." I said yes. The new spot opened, smaller, my vibe. Nautical, but not cheesy. I worked brutal hours, fought with Nora over time, but it clicked. People loved it. A year later, I helped Nora with her art school loans. Not much, but enough. She cried, messy and real. I felt solid, like I mattered. Then, Clara's mom, Gran, died. I didn't go to the funeral, sent flowers, signed Felix, no note.
The fallout was instant. Clara's ex-post about signs, Leela's vague grants. Ray stayed quiet, but I knew he was fuming. A week later, an unknown account messaged me, Uncle Cal, saying they were worried. I blocked it. That night, I had a panic attack, curled up in our loft, Nora holding my hand. She said, "They can't take what you don't give." I got a lawyer, locked down my info, told Vince to keep my details private. 6 years after the doc, I married Nora. Small ceremony on a cliffside, TJ my best man, Vince baking a lopsided cake. Nora's chaotic family adopted me, their warmth strange but good. A week later, I saw Ray's post on a local X group, seeking Felix, last seen Portland, family emergency. No emergency, I knew. I dug deeper. Fake account, local forums. Ray's diner was gone, their house foreclosed. Clara had health issues. Leela was back home post-rehab. They wanted cash, not me. I didn't care anymore. 16 years later, a LinkedIn alert. Leela viewed my profile 31 times. By then, Nora was a gallery curator, me running both Rusty Anchors. We had twins, Ivy and Sam, and a house with a scrappy garden. I rarely checked on my family anymore. Ray and Clara in a tiny condo, Leela remarried, messy as ever. Then they showed up at Rusty Anchor, unannounced. Ray shrunken, Clara frail, Leela worn, her new husband Tim awkward. They'd seen a local mag feature on me. Silence hit like fog. I sat them down, let them ramble. Clara's tears, Ray's excuses, Leela's fake warmth. They needed money. Ray's heart surgery, Clara's bills, Leela's business. I felt pity, not anger. Invited them to dinner, needed time. Nora cooked, lasagna, my tweak on her mom's recipe. The twins set the table, Sam in a Batman cape. Dinner was tense. Ray called Nora Nina. Clara sobbed, Leela hinted at loans. After, I handed Ray a check, $62.80, the 2009 bus fare from that dock to home. He raged, Clara begged, Leela glared. I showed them out. Nora and I cleaned up, checked the kids, slept. The camera caught them arguing in my driveway. They never contacted me again. My revenge? This life. Every laugh with Ivy, every sketch with Nora, every quiet day I chose.
I kept tabs from afar, not out of spite or longing, but to know where the shadows were. Ray's health worsened. Clara's posts turned sadder. Leela's life, a cycle of crashes and fresh starts. But their chaos didn't touch me anymore. My world was Ivy's school plays, Sam's obsession with building lopsided birdhouses, Nora's late-night rants about gallery politics. Rusty Anchor grew. 3 locations now, each with my stamp. Mismatched bar stools, local art on the walls, a playlist heavy on 90s grunge. Vince, mostly retired, still dropped by to nitpick my pour-overs. TJ's bike shop took off. He'd bring over craft IPAs that didn't taste like regret. Life wasn't perfect. Bills piled up. The twins fought over whose turn it was to feed the cat, and I still flinched when someone raised their voice too fast. But it was mine, built from that dock's ashes. Sometimes I'd drive by that old lot, now a coffee stand, and feel nothing but a faint echo. The magazine feature that brought them back, just a blurb, Portland's Hidden Gems, with a photo of me behind the bar, grinning like I belonged. It was enough to unravel their narrative of me as the failure. That dinner was the last time I saw them. Ray's crumpled check stayed on the porch until rain dissolved it. Clara sent one last X message before I deleted my burner account. "We're sorry, Felix. Please." I didn't reply. The twins don't know about the doc. Not yet. Maybe one day I'll tell them, not as a sob story, but as a proof you can start from nothing and still make something. Nora's got a show coming up. Her sketches turned into massive canvases that make strangers cry. I'm taking a course on small business taxes. Boring, but it's for us. Every day, I wake up in a house that smells like coffee and kid chaos, not fear. That's the win. Not revenge in some loud, vengeful way, but in the quiet of a life they can't touch. They wanted to see if I'd break. I didn't. I built. And every time I kiss my kids goodnight or laugh with Nora over burnt toast, I'm proving them wrong. One ordinary, beautiful day at a time.